The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another edition. If I'm not going to hold you, man, it's your host, Scott. You know to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BarberChair Scott. You know where to follow the Barbers Chair Network at BarbersChairNet. And also subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Barbers Chair Network. It is Friday, December 8th. It is 6 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. here in the Midwest. And of course, a place that I wish I was at right now. It is 3 p.m. on the West Coast right now as we get you ready for the weekend edition. We've got a loaded show today. A lot of things going on. We are currently on Shohei Ohtani watch. A lot of plane tracking. People thinking he might be going to Toronto. A lot of things that have not been confirmed yet. We will get into that. We've got the homie Big Wos from Spotify, the Ringer co-host of the Group Chat podcast, which they talk all the great things from the NBA. We're going to have him on in just a minute, man. Before we get to that, let's take a look at our rundown for today, man. Like I said, real loaded show. We've got NBA talk with Wos. We're going to start off with that after we do our sound off. We're going to preview week 14, all the great games we think you should watch. Mikey will have his gambling picks. And of course, it is Cousin Dan Fridays. My cousin will be coming here to talk all the random stuff that is on his mind. He's got a very ridiculous topic he wants to talk about today. And then we will close up with my Goofy Mog of the week. And of course, we've got I'm Not Gonna Hold You Overtime, which is the Patreon exclusive hour. And this is what we'll be talking about on the Patreon hour over on Overtime. We're going to be discussing everything that's going on with the MLB hot stove. We're going to be discussing, where the Panthers win another game. Of course, we just had the Patriots won yesterday, which is a great thing for the Bears if you're into all that. And then we're going to talk about maybe Jim Harbaugh might be going back to Michigan instead of coming home to Chicago. And then we're going to preview Bears versus the Lions on the lakefront on Sunday, man. So let's bring the crew in, man. We've got Dante. We've got Mikey back. We've got Bang. Courtney will be joining us later in the show. She's going to be joining us later. And she also will be making her overtime debut since we'll be talking about MLB over there, man. But let's start with something that me, Dante, and Mikey dropped today in our sound off before we get to our guests. And that is that we are not picking up our fan option. Let's throw that letter up, man. Something that was very, very dear to our hearts when we wrote this, man. So for those of you who didn't see, this is the letter on behalf of me and my cohorts, man. We want to start this letter by thanking White Sox Nation for 30 years of unity and legit friendships through the good and many bad times rooting for this baseball team. The three of us fell in love with this team in the 90s due to watching Sox legends such as Frank Thomas, Paul Konerko, Robin Ventura, and many more. We will never forget the day that we were the proudest to be White Sox fans, and that is October 26, 2005. This is the day the Sox capped off an 11-1 record to win the franchise's third World Series title. Since this title, we've only seen 2 playoff wins and a ton of bad decisions and very bad baseball. It is because of that and other reasons that we write this letter with a heavy heart to announce the three of us will not be picking up our fan option for the 2024 season. We are officially becoming free agents and look forward to speaking with other teams, and we wish the best for our friends who continue to be fans of this team, and we hope that you respect our decisions at this time. With love, Scott, Mikey, and Dante. Y'all thought we was playing. We were not playing when I told you we were hitting fan free agency. So we are going to be accepting fan pitches. Should I be a Yankee fan? Should I come to the Bronx with Juan Soto? Should I stay on the left coast and become a Dodgers fan? Should I go to San Diego? Should I actually cross enemy lines to the north side? All things are on the table. And here's where you can send your pitches, man. Here is the email that you can go. You can go to scottlewis1088@gmail.com. Send your video no longer than a minute long with all your pitches and why we should join the team. And we're going to space this out over the next couple weeks, and we officially announce our new partnership, I guess you want to say. New team will be picking around spring training, man. Before we get to our guests quickly, Dante, Mikey, do you have any words?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, like you said, you thought we were playing. We were very serious, man. I know if you've been following me for last couple of years, as the most of you have, I go back and forth with this. About every 6 months, I say I'm done with all Chicago sports teams. I always come crawling back. I don't know what it is. Some call it loyalty. I call it stupidity. But you be the judge. But in terms of teams owned by Jerry Reinsdorf, I'm done, bro. I'm done. The Bulls, we've said enough about them, but the White Sox, you taking meetings with Nashville, you just going out of your way to spit in my face. So I will be a fool to support this team. We just saw what happened with the Oakland A's, bro, and I think the White Sox are headed down that path personally. But yeah, I rather baseball is too close to my heart for me to sit here and bullshit and pretend like I could watch this, man.
Mikey,
Yeah,
what is on your mind, right, real quick?
yeah, no, I feel you. I'm riding with you, Dante. I mean, we just sat through a fucking rebuild for us to already be in another rebuild. So it's hard. My girl was reading the post and she flat out said, she's like, man, I think y'all are fake as fuck. She's like, y'all bandwagon. And I'm like, nah, nah, nah. So I had to explain to her, it's like being in an abusive relationship. Imagine being with me, but I treat you like shit. You're not gonna want to stick around. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna want to stick around. And what happened was my mom was on speakerphone, and my mom, who was a season ticket holder for the longest, I've already expressed with y'all, how I've been a Bears fan, a White Sox fan since day one. And my mom's like, nah, 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 I'm not renewing my season ticket package. It's got to take a break. When you invest in time watching the game, money going to the games, money traveling, season tickets, and this is the product they keep playing in our fucking face. I can't do it, man. So like Dante said, I love baseball too much. Y'all know I sit here and I watch everything from the A's to the Reds to the Pirates to the White Sox to the Yankees to the Cubs. I love it too much to sit there and be played with. So we gonna see, man. Send y'all pictures, and who know, man. If Otani go to Toronto, they might be the runner-up.
You already see. And I will say this real quick, and we're gonna bring our guest in. In a time when we value mental health, and we value mental health on this show,
Very
as
much
my
so.
co-host Dante so perfectly put a couple weeks ago, we care about mental health. Why should I be brought down because I decided to prioritize my mental health and move away from this crap that we're watching on 35th and Shields? Now I will always be a fan of the Bulls. We all know the special place they have in my heart. Now, I will not pay attention to them niggas. I've watched one Bulls game this entire year. The Bears, we all know about the Bears. It's just like your woman who calls you out your name all the time and berates you, but you love her. And I'm gonna just stay with the Bears. I know I'm being taken advantage of. I know exactly what that is. But them I will never leave. The White Sox have not given me enough for me to stay, and I'll be moving on. We're on a big time. We got a lot of stuff going on today, man. So let's get into our first topic, man. We're going to talk about some NBA, and we're going to bring in our special guest. I think we can call this guy a friend of the program because obviously one of my friends in real life. We've got the homie Big Wos in the house. If you don't know him for everything he does, man, he is part of the Ringer, Spotify, the podcast, group chat. He's count the dings. This man has done so many things in his time, man. He has taken time out of his busy schedule out there in Vegas to join us. How you doing, my brother?
I'm fantastic, man. Happy to be on with you, bros, man. Always happy to be on with y'all.
Definitely glad you could be on, man. First of all, how was Vegas?
It's pretty dope, honestly, man. I thought it was just a brilliant idea when they presented the in-season tournament, to bring it here, because obviously it's a place the players love to come. And fan bases will want to come, right? Like people will want to travel to Vegas to watch their favorite team hoop and, maybe catch a show, maybe play a little blackjack or roulette and keep it pushing. It's just a great place to host an event like this. So, yeah, it's dope. And, of course, like I get off my plane and it's like literally like a million cowboy hats because there's some rodeo convention happening this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Like they got Garth Brooks performing at this shit. Like I'm talking about, like it's everywhere you go, every hotel you go to, it's like cowboy hats everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And that's kind of the beauty of Vegas, that we could bring those worlds together, right? The NBA fan and people who like to watch cats ride horses or bulls. That's what they ride at the rodeo, right? It's bulls, I think.
Yeah.
I I think as well. I know one thing the
Yeah.
Bulls aren't riding. That's wins in the Eastern Conference. But let's just get right to it, man. So my first question for you, you kind of just talked about a little bit. With the in season tournament, this I believe was an idea that I hated it when it first came out. Now I just want to be very clear. I don't like a lot of stuff when it first comes out. Me and change don't really do well right away. I have to be talked into it. I thought it was a dumb idea. I was like, why do we care about an in-season tournament? Like that's not even gonna matter. But it has been phenomenal. I personally have enjoyed it, and we're in the thick of football season where I usually don't pay
Mhm.
attention to the NBA till Christmas Day, and even then I don't care again till really after the Super Bowl. But I've been locked in watching all these games. It's been a great environment. It's been, real competition. Of course, the money has something to do with it too, but it's also you can feel just a competitive nature. So, what was your original thoughts of the play-in tournament, and how you feel about it now?
Yeah, and this is documented too. Like I was fully on board from the start because to me it's really simple. When people are like, "Oh, nobody's gonna give a damn about the games in November," I argued at the time that people care about the stuff that the players care about. So yes, a lot of times in early seasons or the dog days of March, where the playoff seeding is basically set, the teams who suck, we know they suck, and we still got another 15, 17 games left. Yes, it could drag on. But that's an 82 game season, right? To ask players to show up 82 times and treat it like the Super Bowl is crazy. That's
Yeah,
impossible. So we're gonna get those sort of lackluster games in between. I understand that. I've been a proponent for shortening the season for years now. I really do think we should play 2 games a week, do it like European soccer, and I bet you we'd get much better outcomes. Just shorten the season, make it a full round robin. Every team plays each other twice, one time on each other's court, and keep it pushing to the playoffs. But I digress. That's just another gripe of mine. I think the season's too fucking long. But I was like, look, if we put real stakes involved, meaning money, and we tell the players like, yo, this is important, and that they should treat it as such, then we're gonna like the outcome. We're gonna like the games. When NBA players are going hard and it feels like stakes, then we're compelled by that. Like I'll make the example, like sometimes, back when the Warriors and the Cavs were a thing, right?
yeah,
There was no championship on the line in the regular season matchup, or the Heat and the Bulls, for instance, for you, Scott. You got up for those games. You were more
yeah,
excited for those games. They didn't happen in the playoffs. We find ways to get excited about games when we know the players care about it. When we know
yeah,
Joakim Noah don't fuck with LeBron and them, right? And vice versa. Like we get up for those games. And so if we could put stakes on games, whether it be money here, or legitimate animus in other cases, people are gonna care and want to watch that and tune in. And the money aspect, why I thought the money would matter is because $500,000 is not a lot to LeBron James, but the 15th man on the roster who's gonna make 800,000 this year, that's a lot of fucking money. It's gonna change his family's life.
yeah,
And these guys are teammates. Like you want to do that for your teammate, you want to win, you know. And for guys like Tyrese Halliburton, who he mentioned like he had only played in one national TV game his whole career
which is crazy.
before
When you
this year.
think about it, it makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, your ass was in Sacramento.
you was a fact.
Don't
Yeah,
nobody want to watch that shit, but we didn't anyway back then, right? And so, the guys being into it, just to reiterate, like as long as the players are taking it seriously, we're gonna enjoy what we're watching.
So let's
definitely.
talk about the game itself. We got the Pacers versus the Lakers. I know that I was hoping for two non blue blood teams because I wanted to see somebody that we don't necessarily see as a favorite to win the NBA championship, be the first winner in this. But we also have, what the media is putting together as like, damn near like a changing of the guard the way you see them
Mhm,
talking about Tyrese Halliburton versus
mhm.
LeBron James. So how does this game look to you? And who's an X factor? Like who is somebody that we need to pay attention to on Saturday?
So just to go back to yesterday, because again, this is the first time they're putting this event on. The funky ass 2 p.m. start time, which so many people in
which
the
was
media, like
crazy.
so many of my media homies were pissed off about it. They're just like, this is ridiculous. Who's gonna show up for this? Blah 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 blah. And my homies had talked to people in the NBA. They was like, nah, we damn near sold this game out.
Oh
And
wow.
slowly but surely, man, by 6 minutes left in the first quarter, the arena was packed, bro. Like it was a legitimate atmosphere and energy. And what I will say about the Pacers, obviously ended up winning that first game. They came out from the jump and they were into it. Like their bench was going crazy, yelling at
Yep.
people, going nuts for every shot. Like they came here to get this done. And so Halliburton being their spiritual leader, emotional leader, and also obviously being their best player on the court and their leader in that sense, no different, man. This guy was locked in from the very beginning. And I thought Neesmith had a dope game. Obviously it's like a bear of a job for a 6'6" guy to be trying to guard Giannis's huge ass.
Yeah.
I thought he gave it his all. And more than that, it's like his energy and his temperament. To me, he's an X factor because like he had like 4 or 5 fouls yesterday. I tell you guys, he was not cheated on any of them. This
Nah, he
motherfucker is
earned
a
them.
hack.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
is he will hit you, bro. And so, like, that kind of energy that permeates throughout the team. You feel me? Like that physicality, everybody understands, like, yo, we here to really get something done. And so Neesmith to me is somebody to watch. And I think Miles Turner, man, I've been Turner high forever. I don't I was so happy when they traded Sabonis because the idea that they would emphasize the Sabonis dude, a 6'8" center with alligator arms. I never understood that. I always thought Miles Turner was a better player, specifically if you have aspirations to win serious basketball. Incredible rim protector, runs the floor, shoots the ball, just an incredible locker room guy, just the highest character guy. Miles Turner, I thought was incredible because, but for Miles Turner, y'all, Indiana doesn't have, they might as well just be traffic cones. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like Miles Turner is the back line of the defense, and I thought he was excellent yesterday. He outscored Dame Lillard, for God's sakes. So to me, Miles Turner and Neesmith are the guys that y'all should be watching. Halliburton's going to do what he do, but Miles Turner in his matchup against AD and his guarding the paint against LeBron's, forays into the rim. So yeah, Miles Turner, definitely look out for him tomorrow.
Do you think, before we go to you, Dante, do you think that when it comes to how the Lakers have been playing, like to me, as I tweeted yesterday, and this is how me and Wos friendship began with our Bulls Heat battles. Like, and
Yes,
people like
sir.
it's actually funny now because Wos, I wouldn't say that you're not a witness anymore, but it kind of feel
It's
like once he
different.
went
It's
back, it's
different.
different. When he left Miami,
It's
he was like, "Yo, I like Bill and Bron. What you doing?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
But
just just going back to Dan Gilbert's team after he called you out your name and all of this crazy shit. I was like, nah, Brian, we shouldn't be doing that. But yeah,
and
go ahead.
as a career LeBron hater, I was just like, man, like what he's doing right now is like asinine. Like I've only ever seen this from the only other athlete I've ever seen this from is Tom Brady. Like that I can
Yeah.
remember. Maybe Serena, but I don't know tennis like that. So if she last time I saw Serena, she was getting cooked. But don't quote me on that.
Yo,
So,
chill.
that's just
They
what I
go
was saying.
for you, Scott. Chill.
I'm just telling you what I saw.
Them
But
black queens gonna come for you, boy.
I want no problems. I love Serena. I love Beyonce. Okay, leave me alone. I'm just saying, to me, the last time I saw somebody play this elite is Tom Brady. And so when you
Mhm.
see it from LeBron, like, and I love how he said in the press conference, not the press conference, post game interview, where he said, it's a big game, but let's be real, it's still December. He's still thinking about June and trying to get title number 5. As somebody who I'm like, yo, I can put my hate aside because honestly, there's really nothing even said about dude anymore. Like at
Yeah,
this point, no matter what side of the goat fence you're on, like there's nothing he can
yeah,
do to be over Michael Jeffrey Jordan for me. And that, if
yeah,
you're a Bron fan, same thing. So I just kind of look at it as a guy who's been a fan of his since day one. Like, how do we take like what he's been doing and kind of appreciate it to? We got the young guys like you just talk about Tyrese Halliburton. This is a big moment for him, and like LeBron's still here. Like it's 20. I'm 35. He's been doing this since I was 15. He's still here. How do you look at it? How should everybody
Here's
pretty much appreciate this.
here's how you put it in perspective. And yesterday, because I had some pretty good seats yesterday. I'm not gonna hold you. I was
Oh
pretty
yeah,
close to the
yeah.
floor.
I
You
saw
know,
that on
I
your IG. It looked pretty good.
yeah, it was yeah. I could see the sweat beads coming down LeBron's head. All right. Um, Here's how you put it in perspective. They're playing the Pelicans, and Zion. Just look at his career thus far. He is severely out of shape. By the time tip off happened, I swear, y'all, I might have saw a coal in his eye, like he just woke up from a nap. So let's look at how Zion has decided to conduct his career. The lack of dedication, seriousness, professionalism
Yeah,
that he's decided to treat his talent with, and LeBron. So let's just imagine LeBron didn't take his career this serious. His his body, his training, his commitment to his ambassadorship of
yeah,
the NBA. The fact that he cares so much. Where would the NBA be without this guy taking his career this seriously? Where would the NBA be if when LeBron was in Ja Morant's position to be the next face of the league, he treated his responsibility so recklessly and carelessly? So that's
right.
how you put LeBron in perspective. We have the counterfactual, right? We have young guys with this immense promise and potential, and we want to hand it to them, and they just don't do it, right? And so for LeBron to have all of that shit on his shoulders and to come out and have the career that he's had, and to come out and keep his nose clean, and to come out and be the person who's like, yes, I'm going to take the mantle of literally the ambassador of the NBA. Like, we don't even got to take it to Zion, who's like, it's just embarrassing, y'all. Like,
Yeah,
I'm telling
he looked bad yesterday, and I'm the last nigga to be talking about
you,
anybody weight, but that nigga looked bad yesterday.
he looked crazy. We could take it to AD, who's had a fine career,
Yeah,
but that nigga don't want to be nobody's ambassador.
nope.
He don't want to be the face of the league. He wants to go to work and go home. He don't want the extra responsibilities. He doesn't want that placed on his shoulders. So LeBron, man, people are standing on his shoulders. You know, just the fact that Desmond Bain, fine player, okay? The NBA is in such a place that a Desmond Bain can get 40 M's a year. He's a fine player, y'all. You know what it takes to make 40 M's a year in baseball? You
A
gotta
lot.
be top five in the league.
You gotta be Justin Verlander. You gotta be fucking Kate Upton to make 40 million a year in baseball.
You know what I mean? And so for LeBron to help do his part to, take it from Shaq and them and KG and them and Duncan and them and Kobe and them to keep it going and keep the league in a good place so the young guys can now come in and be able to earn these substantial contracts. Generations of their family, ain't got to worry about nothing, man. I mean, that's all I can say. And then on the floor, I mean, that's another part of it. Like the guy was fucking amazing yesterday. It was
crazy,
incredible.
bro.
I was legitimately grateful to be in the building to watch that. 30 points on 12 shots. And every time out, he's hamming it up with the Lakers section. I can't hear you. Doing all of that. I'm like, yo, you would think by this time, like, he's over it. He's tired of it. He's done so much. He's like, no, bro. He's as locked in as he's ever been. You know what I mean? And so to me, that's the greatest compliment you could pay the guy is the responsibility that was handed to him and the seriousness with which he carried it, man. Like you gotta tip your cap to that.
Definitely.
Yeah, bro, definitely. But like to your point, like you said, LeBron, he's done all these amazing things, but he's on his way out the door. And so we've seen, a lot of young teams coming up, and two teams in particular, the Orlando Magic and the Oklahoma City Thunder, they've been doing some really good things so far this season. Do you think that's something that's just, the typical early hot start and then they're gonna fizzle out, or are these two teams that we could officially say are a year ahead of schedule?
So yeah, I think they're a year ahead of schedule, and it's different reasons for both teams. The Magic, they've made themselves into an elite defense, which is something that travels, which is something that's going to be consistent night to night. That's something they could literally fall back on. There's going to be nights where the threes aren't falling, where you don't get the calls and get to go to the line for some efficient scoring, but you're stopping the other team, and so you're still in it. Having an elite unit, that shit goes a long way, right? And if you watch the Magic play, I would encourage anybody who has League Pass to watch these kids play, because these guys, they give a fuck, man. Like
Yep.
they go hard. They go hard. They run their shit. Every single set they run on offense, they run it hard, and on defense, they're getting into guys. Boxing the hell out of people. The help defense, they play on the string. All of those cliches, the Magic embody that. And so that's gonna be there all year long, whether the shots are falling or not. So I think they're legitimate, and you got to give a credit to Mose, Coach Mose, because he's coaching them up. They're playing very hard. And OKC, the reason why they're legit, they have a legitimate first team All NBA guy, MVP candidate guy. So every single night they go onto the court with who is probably the best player on the floor in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And again, another group of guys that play hard. It's a lot of young guys, so they could do that more often on a night-to-night basis than a veteran-laden group. And so, yeah, Magic don't have an All-NBA guy yet, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is as good as it gets at the wing position, y'all. Like, he's playing as well as anybody. And I mean anybody. I'm talking about Steph. I'm talking about Book. I'm talking about Dame. I'm talking about anybody who's a wing. I'm talking about Luka. He's playing as well as all of them. And some nights he gets the better of them. And so when you could bring that on a night-to-night basis, you have all this length, all this athleticism, and a pretty good coach, even though nobody knows who the hell he is.
I still don't. I was about to ask you the name.
Mark Dagnall, yeah.
That's my
They gotta
cousin.
do
That's
who-
my cousin. That's my
They gotta
cousin.
do who he played for coaches.
Yeah. Yeah. And so they to get to your question, Dante, they're both legit. Both of them are legit.
And that's funny. We'll segue from the Magic and the Thunder to the team that I represent as a resident light skin and the resident Bulls fan from Chicago. What is wrong with the Bulls and the Warrior? Outside of the fact that my GM, he did the rebuild for the Magic better than he did for the Bulls.
Man.
I mean, I think they've gotten pretty much all that they could get out of this group. And I think the main thing, I love Zach LaVine as a player. And if you guys remember, before he got his deal, there was a lot of back and forth in the press between him and the front office, where he got the sense that they didn't want to pay him. And the front office was like, yo, I don't know if this dude is a difference maker. Like, should I be giving this guy $200 million if he doesn't change my life? And at the time I understood that. And then you add in the injury history, which is extensive for Zach, unfortunately. And I think just Zach is not a Shai. He's not a Luka. He's not a Booker. He's not that type of game-changing young guy. And so they're at an impasse. And that's just what it is. DeRozan obviously is on the back half of his career. I've never been a Vucci man guy ever. I'm just like, I don't understand why you like a dude who maxes out at 18 points a game and marginal defense and whatever. I get it. He's a nice player, but I don't know why you would cast your lot with him. I just think they got everything that they could get. And then unfortunately, man, the version that we saw with Lonzo, which to me obviously was the best version of this team, it couldn't come to fruition because of his injuries. And so, this just happens in the NBA. Sometimes you try a thing and it doesn't work out, and everybody has to move on. And then you have the added layer that Zach LaVine feels mortally wounded by Billy Donovan sitting him at some point last year. It's basically it's irreparable at this point. There's nothing to do. They got to move him. And I think teams should want to bring Zach LaVine in. I think he's a good ass player. I don't know if you want to bring him in to be your savior, but like if you want to win and you have a nice foundational pieces there, say a Miami, say a Los Angeles, even say a Philly with Joel Embiid over there. I think he would be a fantastic value add. But the idea that he could come in and be the focal point of something that was
It just ain't
special,
gonna happen.
I think
Yeah.
we've seen that that's not going to be the case.
Now with the like you said, when it comes to like the Warriors, like I feel like that's something that when the trade happened, you already know. First of all, I wanted to throw up when the trade happened because you know how I feel about that State Farm agent, Christopher Paul. So I was like, I gotta wish him well because he's playing with my favorite player. So I'm not shocked that this is happening. Clay looks like a shell of himself. Draymond too busy trying to be Debo. It's just a whole mess over there. And I said on the show a couple weeks ago, and I stand by it. Now I know this is kind of like not in Steph's DNA, but it would not shock me if he's like, "Yo, y'all better get this together." If I give me a ask for a trade request, y'all get the fuck about it because we talk about LeBron, Steph's still playing well at his age. So what do you think is going on with Golden State? I love what Chuck told Bob Myers yesterday in the crossover. He said, "You got off the Titanic right in time." And Bob Myers like, "I have friends over there." He said, "Well, you're gonna be looking at them in the eye soon." So what you think about everything going on with the champs? Well, not the
So
champs, but like the dynasty.
it's a couple of things. I think the injuries to Gary Payton Part 2 and Chris Paul, who say what you want, when he's played pretty well. It's just, at his age and his injury history, it is what it is, man. The guy's missed a lot of time, and I think that's really hurt them. And then you combine that with Clay's struggles and Wiggins. I think the
Oh
Wiggins
yeah,
struggles have been the most just like,
yeah.
God damn, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, act like you give a shit, bro. It's bad enough you missed half of the damn season for some mystery
For
issue.
some mystery thing, yeah.
I have it on good authority what it is.
I was
We can
about to
talk
say, I was
about
like,
that.
you probably know. We'll talk about that off air. Yeah,
We can talk about that off mic some other
yeah,
time. But
yeah.
and you're gonna laugh, honestly. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna say this is a fucking joke.
Okay,
Um,
I'm looking forward to it.
and by the way, just to bring your people, your audience behind the curtain a little bit. So like when with the Wiggins thing last year, it's all the stuff. The organization is keeping it mum, right? They know why he's out, but they're keeping it close to the vest. And then they trot out this Mitchell Wiggins was sick, which he was. The guy was sick, and the idea that they didn't say it in so many words, but the idea was that Wiggins couldn't hoop, because his dad was sick. Here's why I'm skeptical. Andrew Wiggins' brother plays in fucking Lebanon. That nigga ain't come home for this. Andrew
That's a
Wiggins.
good point.
Andrew Wiggins has a $30 million a year job that he's not going to,
Yeah.
allegedly for his dad. And his brother couldn't leave whatever peanuts they paying him in Lebanon for. Come on, folks. Come
It
on,
doesn't
folks.
make any
Anyway,
sense.
Wiggins.
And I would say this before you go on. This how I know, like, and Don, you get yes. This is what I was saying too. Why it makes sense what you're saying because it's kind of the same thing with the Bears and the mysterious letting go of the defensive coordinator Allen Williams. And I was at the facility that day when he got fired, and it was like there was a whole bunch of things. It was like, oh, well, the FBI came up here because he did something. I was like, nigga, I've been parked in the front. They definitely would have came to all the black people first. There was any FBI here. So like I'd have known that as soon as I got past the security. So I didn't see that. Come to find out, well, this is not confirmed. Let me say that since I'm a member of the Bears media, I have to say this is not confirmed. But it sounds like he was on Pornhub instead of trying to figure out how to stop Jordan Love. So you know
Lord
how
have
the
mercy.
organizations try
Lord
to
have
throw stuff
mercy.
out there. So yeah, that's how I
Man
agree
was
with
choking
you.
the chicken on company hours. Lord have mercy. Unbelievable. So Wiggins,
My man was out here searching.
yeah,
That's what
he
you
was,
saying?
Hey man,
he
I'm
was
just
typing in all
saying.
kinds of
Hey
pogs and
man,
whatnot.
you know
in
them
his
niggas at the
search
Harold
engine.
Washington Library who be in the
Right,
fog
yes.
computer in the corner. One of
Yes.
them,
Come on,
yeah.
man.
But
Everybody knows
yeah,
you're not supposed to do that on the work
Wow.
computer.
but yeah, go ahead though, G.
But yeah, Wiggins stinking up the joint and Clay. It's everything. It's the injuries. It's Clay and Wiggins stinking up the joint. It's the young guys not panning out in such a way that, damn, bro, we thought we had one with Kuminga. Moody's been better recently, but like even Moody, it's like it's all of those
Yeah,
things have
that's
compounded.
three. My bad to interrupt you, but that's three young people that didn't work out. which
Yeah,
is quite confusing to me. Like you will
yeah,
see like maybe one not work out, but
yeah,
Wiseman didn't work out, Moody's not working out, Kaminga's not working out. That's
yeah,
strange to me from a coaching development standpoint.
yeah.
Is it their fault, or are we looking past what might not be happening in San Francisco?
So I'm friends with a lot of Warriors fans, and if you ask the fans, the reason why they're really pissed about the young guys is
Shout
like,
out to homies at Warriors World. Shout out to them.
yeah, those are our guys. If like it's like you passed up on LaMelo, talking about he's quote unquote not a Warriors type of player just because his dad is a loudmouth. Meanwhile, this guy's a ball movement shooter, huge wing,
Hmm.
perfect for what these people do. Like super cerebral, understands the game at a high
And
level.
he's light skinned.
Well,
We would have got the approval gone through. I'd have sent it to Drake. I'd have sent it to Steph. He'd have been good.
And so it's some of the guys that they passed up on that has compounded this, right? You'll hear about the Halliburtons, you'll hear about the Franz Wagners, because to bring up another Magic star, like to a lot of the fans, they passed up on some guys that would have been so excellent on this team and next to Steph. And so that's where I think a lot of the consternation stems from. So yeah, you can say it was a failure. These young guys, and even Jordan Poole, who panned out, he got a big second deal. He's out of town and he's thinking it up, you know. And so yeah, it's I understand the frustrations from the fan base in terms of the young guys, them not being able to find and develop younger guys to supplement what Steph and the core four or core three do.
Yeah, man, and also, sometimes, things got to end, bro. They've been on top for a long time, on unprecedented run. You know what I'm saying? So,
This is a
uh,
franchise that has known no success, zero success
yes,
before
yeah,
2013. No
before
success.
2013, yeah,
Zero. They had the
and
Rick Barry situation, championship or whatever, and that's it. It's been ineptitude. It's been a joke. They were a laughing stock. I remember my boy Ethan, who started on the beat for ESPN. He was like, "Yeah, when I first started the beat in Oracle Arena, yeah, people passing blunts in the stadium. Legalize it, hashtag legalize it. But goddamn, you can't pass blunts at the Garden.
No bullshit.
You can't do that."
No bullshit. I know somebody that ran up a milli, off of the Warriors back when they had Monte. Like when you go to Six Flags and you can go to get the Pepsi or the Coca-Cola can, dollar tickets, consistently buying those tickets and eventually buying out seats in the Oracle and basically cashing out. He ended up owning like 50 seats in that stadium.
That's incredible.
that that's crazy, man. As we get you up out of here, bro, I just want to name the stat that Mikey put in the chat. Actually, not a stat, but TNT Sports announces that the Lakers Pelicans telecast last night delivered the most watched NBA regular season game since opening week, averaging 2.2 million viewers across TNT, TBS, True TV, and Max. Viewership for the Lakers in season tournament season final win was up 66% over the latest TNT average December. So obviously that stuff is working, man. So that's good for the league.
Yeah, people watching it, and again, and that was a game that was a 40-point blowout, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And again, it's a process of getting people to understand what's happening with the tournaments. That's what the court is for. It's like distinguishing this thing. And I really think, and I think eventually they should get this thing to 1 million. I really do.
yeah.
I think this is going to be a good thing. It's going to be a fun thing to watch, see where teams are at. Like, because even me, I have championship hopes for the Bucks. Just seeing where they're at yesterday
Yeah.
in a game that I know they're taking seriously, that there's legitimate stakes. To see where they measure up right now in their pursuit of a championship. Like, this is just cool, man. It's dope.
I was going to as we're gonna wrap this up, I was going to give as I bring Courtney here, but I was going to name a certain Milwaukee Buck my goofy mog of the week because of things he said, but I got a certain call last night, so I'm not gonna do that. It's all love to everybody over there. But yeah, man, who you got in the game tomorrow? And just let them know where they get in contact with you, man.
Man, I don't know, man. Haven't seen LeBron yesterday, just how locked in he is, and how I know he's taking the shit so mega seriously. I just don't think he's gonna be denied, man. Like it's only right that this guy add one more trophy to the mantle. People could say it's insignificant or whatever, but like from the very beginning, from group play, look, if you watch the group play games, LeBron was going mad
He was
hard.
going crazy, dog.
Like it was ridiculous.
He's like,
And
nigga, I'm
so
going to Vegas.
and exactly. And so I think the Lakers are gonna win. I really do. I think they match up well defensively. I like what Cam Reddish has become for them, the sort of head of the snake on defense. He's taken on the primary ball handler assignment and he's taking it seriously. I think somebody's gotten into Cam Reddish's ear and told him, listen, if you guard people, you're gonna get paid. And so he's guarding the hell out of folks right now. And so I just love what the matchup they present for Indiana. LeBron, he gonna do his old man game, walk that shit up the floor. Ain't gonna be none of that up and down tomorrow because LeBron ain't got the knees for it. And so I think it's gonna be a much lower possession game than Indiana's used to. And just on the execution wise, like if Indiana's defense isn't great, it's very leaky. And I think LeBron gonna figure out a way to pick them boys apart and hoist that trophy in the end.
Definitely, man. Wise. By the way, this is Courtney. Courtney, this is Wise. We have
what up, Court?
You're on mute, Courtney. There you go. No, you don't want. Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah. We have
just now.
We have corrupted her. She was a nice human being before we started this show,
and now she's one of us. A nice human being.
Listen, just don't get your Twitter banned like my son Scott for cursing.
No, I have had my Twitter since 2009. The same account.
Don't end up like Scott and lose all your followers because you was talking greasy.
Honestly, that was the best thing that happened in my career. Shout out to Cody Parkey, because who knows what things I was saying when 21-year-old Scott was saying while you was tweeting at the Columbia College hallways. Who knows what I was saying?
Yes, who
Cody
knows?
Parkey is the reason that you're not on your original account.
Yeah, because when he missed that kick, the double doink. And by the way, I didn't say nothing about him that day. They found a tweet from when he missed 4 kicks in October, and I said I was gonna strangle him. So that's when we got my account up out of there. So yeah, I was actually very calm. I walked down Melrose for about 45 minutes, and I would have walked to the Grove if my phone wasn't about to die. But we're gonna get you up out of here, bro. It's always good to talk to you, my G.
Y'all can find me, Big Waz, every single social media platform, BIGWOS. Yeah, man. Salute to you guys. Love what you guys are doing. We'll holler soon. Be good.
Definitely, bro. I will be back on California soil next month. No, iPhone the 1st. So I will holler at you there, my brother. Good luck. Always good to talk to you. Yes, sir. So we've got Courtney. We got Championship Court in the building. How's it going?
Fantastic. Always fantastic.
Always fantastic.
Always fantastic in the city of Dallas after the Rangers won the World Series.
Okay. There we go.
Okay.
Anyway, shout out to Waz for joining us, man. We're going to get right into our NFL content as we're going to move this on, man. We're going to start this off with Mikey. Are you ready for your gambling picks of today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Damn, my shit looking crazy. Hold up.
Timo Cruz is back.
Hold up,
Timo Cruz, star of.
Let me get my hair right.
What I gotta do, Coach? What I gotta do, Coach?
That's somehow crazier.
Star of the 2004 movie Coach Carter, Timo Cruz is
here. He's become a Mike rocking the Darwin Barney joint. I'm crying. The Blue Jays.
And no, not at all. Absolutely not. He's supposed to go to LA. What are we doing?
Yeah, he ain't going. I'll tell you one place he's not going. He's not going to the south side of Chicago, and he's not going to Arlington, Texas.
I can live with that.
We got a parade in Arlington.
Right. So I'm ready to hit y'all with some gambling picks, man. It's been a minute since we've gotten busy on the gambling tip, man. So this week, we're going to target a couple of receiving props for a couple wide receivers in the NFC. Our first player is going to be Drake London from the Atlanta Falcons for over 46.5 receiving yards. It's a perfect matchup. We've attacked this matchup throughout the season when going against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay allows the 7th most receptions to wide receivers. They give up the 6th highest yards per attempt to wide receivers. In 2 career games against Tampa Bay, he's gotten 6 receptions for 55 yards and 6 receptions for 120 yards. So we're going to ride with Dante's boy, Drake London, over 46.5 receiving yards. For my second single bet, we're going to ride to the Windy City. DJ Moore over 5.5 receptions. It's clear as day when Justin Fields is on the field with DJ, that's his guy. He's got 5+ catches in all 5 games with Justin Fields. He's at the last game against the Lions. He has 7 receptions on 9 targets, and he's averaging insane targets the last couple of weeks. 7. He had 9, 13, 11. He had a big game against the Vikings. So we're going to ride with DJ Moore. When in doubt, over 5.5 receptions. That should be easy. And for my last play, the Buffalo Bills going into Arrowhead. I love the Buffalo Bills to beat the Chiefs. These are not the Chiefs that we know of the last couple years. I respect Patrick Mahomes. I respect the Chiefs kingdom over in Arrowhead, but I think the Buffalo Bills come in. They take care of a depleted Kansas City Chiefs in this game, and we're going to take the Bills to win outright.
Yeah. Also, that's a good one because Pacheco is not playing.
Yep,
Pacheco is not playing. Just saw that come across my ESPN screen.
Will miss him.
Right. Yeah. So, man, let's get into our must watch games of week 14. I'm gonna start off with my sneaky good game of the week. I actually think it's Lions Bears. I think Lions and Bears will be the sneaky good game. I also could have went Rams. Well, Rams Ravens on my list, but I was thinking about that maybe making sneaky good game. But I think it's gonna be sneaky good game because of how the last game went. Bears should have won that. Had like a 12-point lead with like 2 minutes left in the game. Then the Bears defense does what the Bears defense does, and that's give up leads. I think they're at home. They've been playing a lot better. And quiet as kept. The Lions have not been playing well. As J.R. Banks says, nobody give a damn about the Detroit Lions. They're looking more fluky. They're looking more fluky coming into playoff time. I think that obviously they're going to win the North. Like, I see no way where they jag it to not win the North. They're going to win the North. The thing right now is how they're going to be going into playoff time. And they have not played well. Almost blew leads to the Saints last week. I think I'm not saying I'm going to pick them. We'll do our picks in overtime on Patreon. But I think it's going to be a sneaky good game. I can see this one going to the wire like the last one. Bang, what you think about my sneaky good game?
It's higher on my list of sneaky good games. I think this is going to be a real good game, a high-scoring game. I think that this is going to be a turnover-ridden game too. So, I will even go and say that one of the defenses will score a touchdown. I see this as a high-scoring game with a lot on the line because Detroit don't want to look as bad as they have been looking. They want to try to set a tone. But we know this is possibly Justin Fields' farewell tour. So it's a lot even going on around the game that makes this more than number 5. I'll say that.
Okay. Dante, what you think about my sneaky good game?
I don't think it's nothing sneaky about it. I think it's gonna be a good game. Like you said, I think the last game was, a perfect example of why this is going to be a good game. I think Justin Fields has been playing a lot better. I think he has a lot to prove. And I think for the first time in a while, I know the the Eberflus press conferences are usually pretty just word salads. Him talking about
he got spicy on Wednesday.
He got quite spicy on Wednesday. So I think they're trying to light a fire under Getsy because everybody's seat is hot and they know that. Like you said, we've been talking about the Justin pretty much auditioning for other teams, but the reality is everybody's auditioning right now for their job and for a possibility of getting another job. So I think we're going to see the Bears offense try to be a little bit more aggressive. I don't know what the weather's going to be like in Chicago, but I don't think it's going to be too crazy. So they'll be able to do their thing. And I think it's going to be a really good game.
Courtney, what you think?
I guess I don't let the Bears occupy as much of my mental space as you.
Okay. Yeah, championship court has been on a wild run.
Spicy.
I see what's going on here.
This is one of those games where I'll probably end up as soon as my hit of Jared Goff over half a turnover, as soon as that hits, I'm gonna roll over on the couch and just go to sleep. like this doesn't move me. And I told y'all, I was like, I'm considering streaming Roshan Johnson, but that's how bad how down bad I am, right? That I'm trying to weigh the options because Isaiah Pacheco is out. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're into mediocre
Bear
football, this is a
football.
good game to watch. Otherwise, it doesn't move the needle for me at all. There are better things for me to be doing with my time.
Okay. All right, Mikey, go ahead. What you think?
Yeah, I don't know what she was talking about and all that, but this is definitely one of the best games of the week. I would say it's up there with Rams and Ravens, and then with the Cowboys and the Eagles. Just for the fact, I think the Bears are ascending. You heard Justin Jones this week on NFL Network. He says that he thinks this team is starting to click, and we could be seeing something similar. It's hard to say for a 4-win team, but this time last year, the Lions went on a run and they
you put some dip on your chip. Go ahead.
Hey, but this time last year, the Lions went on a run and at least started some positive momentum for the season going forward. They won out. So I think the Bears match up perfect with the Lions this week, especially that the Lions will be missing, I believe, 3 of their starting defensive linemen. I mean, you still have Aiden Hutchinson, but I think Justin Fields has proven that he's a problem against the Detroit Lions with his legs. I think they are going to try to take that away, so we're going to have to see him in the passing game. But I think this game matches up perfectly on the lake. On the lake, anytime you're giving me 3 points with Jared Goff playing outside in December, outside of a dome, I will take that. I don't think we'll get 3 interceptions like we had last time, but I definitely think the Bears will hang in this game, and I got the Bears winning outright.
Okay. I hope that is the case. You know, I'm down for winning, and I will explain why in my goofy mug of the week today. But let's get into my actual list. Number 5 on my must watch games of week 14. I've got Rams Ravens. This one I really was debating if this should be my sneaky good game, but I think this is going to be a very entertaining game. This game is in Baltimore. The Rams have slowly actually been playing some good ball. They're 6-6 right now. They got one of the final wild card spots along with Green Bay. I think honestly, this is Sean McVay's best coaching gig. I think with everything they've had going on, for him to have them right in the midst of this playoff race. Granted, the NFC is the JV league, but it's still just to have them right there. And they've been putting up points. Like we said, with Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp is back. I'm going to keep calling him Samoan Cooper Kupp. I have no idea if Puka Nacua is Samoan, but I'm going to call him Samoan Cooper Kupp in this one, man. But they've been hooping. I think this offense can go out there and put up points on this defense. The Ravens are coming off a bye week. We're going to see how they do. Lamar Jackson was sick all week, wasn't on the injury report today, but that's on the monitor. I think I'm gonna go with the Rams and the upset on this. Y'all don't have to give y'all picks. I'm just giving my pick for that one. But Bang, what you think about this game?
First of all, Puka is of Samoan, Hawaiian.
Okay, I was half right. There we go.
Descent. So
yeah,
you were right. And
what up, Roos?
And he also grew up in Provo, Utah. So we already know how Samoans roll in Utah. I agree with you when it comes to McVay. I think this was his best coaching job. People pretty much left the Rams for dead this year. And clearly they have not been that. They've definitely seen. It's definitely been a surprise on how this team has been able to stay alive this year. But it's not going to work against the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Baltimore Ravens is probably a top 2 team in the NFL right now. And this is definitely a chance for the Rams to really show what they are about in a statement game, similar to San Francisco and what they did to the Eagles. The Ravens need a statement game. I think this is it.
Courtney, what you feel about this? Does this satisfy your higher football appetite here?
I mean, I'm excited that the Ravens, pardon me, are playing football again. I'm excited to see how they are on a week of rest because I might be in the minority that isn't also, I guess, terribly moved by the Ravens. I'm not like fully sold on the Ravens being Super Bowl contenders yet.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm just not there yet. So listen, the Rams have been really, really good. I mean, appreciation for Matt Stafford. He's been quietly pretty good. So yeah, I'm curious to see though. I think if they can beat the Ravens can beat the Rams, especially with the Rams coming off that game with the Browns, which I know we can talk about that another time, but still, I like it. I think the Ravens win by at least a touchdown, but we'll see.
All right, Mikey, what you think about this game, boss?
Yeah, I think this is a really good game. Like I said, it's a good game. On the slate, I just think that the Rams are due for a letdown spot after what probably was their win of the season last week. Dismantling the Browns 36-19 at home. You have a dome team coming from the West Coast, coming all the way to the East Coast to play in outdoor conditions. I don't believe it's going to be that clean of a game. It is December in Baltimore, so I think the Rams, their propensity on offense is to push the ball downfield through the passing game, and I just don't think it's going to be able to work this week. So I will take the Ravens in this one.
All right, Dante, man, close us out on this game.
Hey, yeah, I agree, bro. I got the Ravens. I agree with Courtney. They haven't looked like the Super Bowl contender I said they were the last few weeks. Been up and down, but I think at the end of the day, I like them against a team coming west. Like you said, conditions are going to be a little sloppy, possibly. I got the Ravens.
All right, let's go to my number 4 game, must-watch game. This is a AFC West matchup, man. A game that both teams need here. The Chargers are in desperate need of a win. That was a win. They had a Chicago Bears win last week when they won. I think it was 6-0 over the Patriots. That's what Chicago Bears shit. That's what shit you should not be happy about or be proud about it. You put up 6 points on this sorry-ass team. And the Broncos have gotten back into the race, but had a very damaging loss last week to the Houston Texans. They're going to try to bounce back in this one. I always think division games are pretty good, especially with so much on the line here, man. I think this is going to be a good one. I'm going to roll with the Broncos, man. I'm going to go right back to Dante on this one. What's your thoughts on this game? And have you sold any tickets to this game?
No, I still got them. If you need it, you see me right there.
Yeah,
Holla at me. I got you. Very great seats, 200 level only. That's how we do it. But no, in this game, I got Russell Wilson and the Broncos. I know he, was a rough one last week, but I still believe in the Russ revival and everything they got going out there in Denver. So, and I think the Chargers, it's time to. That's not one of the teams I would say blow it up, but it's time to make some changes, especially with the coaching staff. I know. Staley, it's crazy because I like some of the things he does. I'm very pro being aggressive, especially in today's NFL with the way points are a necessity and you got to score. But he just tweaks too much, so I think it might be time to make a change there. So I think on Sunday I got the Broncos.
Bang, what you think about this one?
Hey man, Broncos. They unfortunately took the L last week. This right here is a game that they need back. And when you go up against a team that's in your division, that's also not been playing in the way that you would think, when you have a quarterback that everybody loves to talk about, and Justin Herbert, you got Khalil Mack, who leads the league in sacks. You got Derwin James. This team.
Can I ask a quick question before you continue? Before you go,
go ahead.
Now I know this is hindsight is 2020, and I didn't have a problem with this trade when it happened. But are y'all upset as Bears fans?
No,
about the fact
absolutely
that
not.
This nigga has 15
absolutely
sacks.
Not.
So
Absolutely not. Because
fan.
it was like 5 or 6 in one game itself.
He had 6 versus the Raiders.
Right? It was 6 in one game.
Yeah, 6 in one game. So half of that came against one offensive tackle. No, I don't have seller's remorse at all. Okay. You also got to think about it like this. When it comes to him, it's kind of like a contract year because his cap hit is extremely high. So he's probably not going. Yeah, so he's probably not going to be back with the San Diego Chargers in the first place. So he's pretty much auditioning right now for other teams, especially if Brandon Staley is not there no more. So yeah, dude trying to get his money. Khalil Mack trying to get his money elsewhere for another team. I guess the question would be if people have buyer's remorse in knowing that he's more than likely not going to be playing with the Chargers again. Would you like to see the Bears entertain bringing him back?
I'm coming home. Actually, I know. We ain't supposed to be singing that song. My bad. I forgot who made it. Never mind.
Oh yeah, stop. Cut it out.
My bad. What's another come? Welcome back. by
Right.
Mason Bethel. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, welcome
Well,
back.
I mean, he produced that one too, but okay.
He
All right.
did, man. God damn. This sick nigga produced a lot of great shit. Anyway, man, moving along. Mikey, what you think about this game, dog?
Nah, I'm riding with the Broncos, man. The Broncos have been playing well. They've won 5 of their last 6 games. And one thing that they really do well is run the ball. They haven't really done a lot, in the passing game with Russ, but they are running the shit out the ball. The Chargers cannot stop the run. They're giving up about 150 rushing yards per game. And if we're just being honest, the Chargers, their last 3 wins were against arguably three of the worst teams in the NFL. They beat the Patriots 6-0. They beat the Jets without Zach Wilson or with Zach Wilson, but still they beat the
It don't
Jets.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah, it don't matter. Same thing. And they
Same thing.
and they beat the Bears again with Tyson Bagent. So they haven't had a quality win since I don't know when. So I'm definitely gonna ride with the Broncos in this one.
Courtney, what you got?
Yeah, I'm riding with the Broncos as well. Everyone loves to hype Justin Herbert, but it's not passing the eye test for me. And I know we can talk about all we can acknowledge, the fact that his receivers have dropped a lot of important passes, and Austin Eckler, and he's supposed to be getting paid next year. What are you doing, bud? Yeah, it's not a good look for them. Brandon Staley still has a job. I am shocked. Yeah, I imagine that Justin Herbert is going to get picked off minimum twice, minimum of 2 times, I should say, and the Broncos are going to win that game. Defense has been their better recently, so.
Brandon Staley would get a lot more heat if they played in a city that gave a shit about that team, which is why I love that Bane comes with every week and calls them the San Diego Chargers, because nobody in Los Angeles gives a fuck about that team. But let's go to my number 2 game.
And they try me.
Let's go to my number 2 game, man. This used to be high level football. I don't really know what to expect from this game. Bills, Chiefs. This to me is a game that it's important for both teams, especially all the offensive woes that the Chiefs been having. No wide receivers. Pat has been out there throwing the niggas like me. On top of that, even then he's been throwing. Thank you, Mikey, for showing me. Yeah, I skipped the game. Thank you, Mikey, for putting that.
I was just about to say you skipped the game.
I skipped. This is teamwork made the dream work. That was my number 2 game. Number 3 game is Niners Seahawks. Thank you. I don't know how I skipped that. This is the NFC West game. This one to me is important too, because like we just said on this show last week, that the Niners have a good chance here to run the table and get that number 1 seed and have the NFC Championship game come to is it Santa Clara? I think it's Santa Clara. It's not San Francisco.
Yeah.
In Santa Clara, so they can have the NFC Championship game, have a road to Vegas, go through them. And this is a prime opportunity to do it against a team like the Seahawks, who's really not been playing good ball for the last couple weeks. They destroyed these niggas on Thanksgiving. I don't think anything's going to change from this one, especially that was a road win. They're going to do what they need to do on Sunday. I don't think this is going to be close either. I think that they were already playing good ball, but now they really feel themselves after beating up on the Eagles, man. So I got the Niners in a real easy one, man. I'm gonna circle back to Courtney. What you think about this one?
Yeah, I unfortunately feel much of the same way. I was super disappointed to see them get stomped on, them as in the Seahawks on Thanksgiving Day after that Cowboys game, and I don't think that the outcome will change in this one, especially in Santa Clara. So yeah, actually, that's kind of ridiculous though that they don't play in San Francisco. Right,
yeah,
like
2 hours away from San Francisco. That's crazy.
It's a little ridiculous. But no, I got San Francisco handedly.
Mikey, what you got?
Yeah, I'm riding with San Francisco. They're going to be coming off of that big win. It was a statement win last week against the Eagles. They let them know that, when healthy, they're not to be fucked with. So I think they're going to go ahead and they're going to get Seattle up out of there. I mean, Geno Smith might be questionable with I think it's a true game time decision with the groin. Kenneth Walker, their RB1, is a game time decision. Their backup rookie, Zach Charbonnet out of UCLA, is a game time decision. It's a steep hill to climb. I believe the spread might be around 9.5, 10 points. 10-point favorite for the Niners. So I think the Niners roll. They have a clear shot at being able to overtake the Eagles by the end of, Sunday night for the number 1 seed if the Cowboys can take care of the Eagles. So I think the Niners handle business at home.
Bang, what you got?
Seahawks about to get their ass beat. Next game.
He said that's just all there to say. Dante, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, I remember these games when they used to be exciting when the LOB was out there going against Cap. But this one will not be like one of those games. I think the Niners, like you said, they on the road. They know who they are. They fully loaded, and I think they're gonna take care of business. They probably win by at least 14. I was gonna say 10, but I'm not gonna lie. I think it's gonna get ugly.
I'm with y'all on that, man. We are about 7 minutes away from Cousin Dan Fridays. Cousin Dan will be joining us in just a minute. Let's go to my number 2 game. Thank you, everybody, for putting me on the right track because I was fucking up. Number 2 game is Bills Chiefs. Like I was saying, this game is important for both teams. It's important for the Chiefs because of the offensive woes they've been having all season. Have really not looked like the Chiefs vote on the offensive side of the ball. Defense has been great, but Pat's been out there throwing the niggas who look like me as far as catching the ball. Isaiah Pacheco is one of his actual few weapons. Is not gonna be playing. He's not gonna be playing. He got ejected at the end of last week's game, and now he's not gonna play tomorrow. I mean on Sunday. Travis Kelce actually knows what defense looks like now as he's been getting locked down. So there's been a little problem with that. On top of that, we all know what happens when Matt Nagy is calling your plays. The Bills, on the other hand, have been an up and down season for them. They had a chance to beat the Eagles, took their foot off the gas, and we all know how that ended up for them as well. The same thing happened with the Chiefs, and now they find themselves in a predicament. They're 6-6. They really, really desperately need this game. I'm going and also the stuff that happened with Sean McDermott this week, which I don't know if we're gonna have a chance to get into towards the end, but if we do, we definitely gotta talk about that if we get the chance. But I'm gonna go with the Bills in this one. Honestly, I think this is the perfect time for the Bills to strike. I don't like the weapons that Pat has, and even I hate it even more without Isaiah Pacheco. So I'm gonna go with the Bills in this one. I'm gonna start off with Dante on this one. How you feel about this game?
Bro, I'm going with Buffalo right now. I know this is not indicative of how I feel they would what happened if they met in the playoffs, but right now I'm gonna go with Buffalo. Like you said, the Chiefs, they're up and down, a lot of inconsistency on offense. You really don't know who Pat is throwing it to half the fucking time. But I'm gonna go with Buffalo. I think I like Stefan Diggs. I mean, I think this is like I don't want to say the test case, but anytime somebody has a young quarterback, this is what happens when you give them an elite wide receiver. Like you always have that safety net, and so I think with Buffalo they finally starting to hit a groove, and I'm gonna go with the Bills.
And we have our resident Buffalo Bills hater and Courtney. Courtney, how are you going? Where are you going with this? I'm pretty sure you're going Chiefs, but how you feel about this?
No, actually, I think that this game is more important for Buffalo than it is for Kansas City, as crazy as that sounds. Especially with everything that happened with Sean McDermott, they probably had a lot of conversations now that story has kind of has come out about him being a weirdo. Which again, I did say a couple of weeks ago. I said, who should have lost their job over their offensive coordinator. I did say that.
You did say that.
Sometimes you get weirdo energy from somebody, and yeah, he always gave me weirdo vibes. But no, as far as this game, I don't trust the Chiefs' offense whatsoever. I think the Bills' defense is better than a lot of the teams that they've faced recently. So yeah, I don't feel good about it, even in Kansas City. I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but either way, it's not like the conditions are any different in Buffalo.
Right.
So yeah, I got Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to win by at least a touchdown.
Mikey, are you turning over your Josh Allen hate leaf for one game?
Nah, man. I'm good. I was really impressed with Buffalo and Philly, man. They did everything they could to win. Gabriel Davis catches that ball, that's a wrap. So I'm riding with the Bills. Obviously, they're in our play for my picks this week. But quite frankly, this is a playoff game for them. Every game going forward, the rest of the season, the rest of this last month is a playoff game for them. Currently, right now, they're 11th in the AFC. There's 6 teams in front of them, for the wild card spot. And 4 of those 6 teams all have backup quarterbacks in the Bengals, in the Steelers, in the Colts, the Browns. So they have to kind of start making ground. They lose probably one more game there. That's it. So I'm going to ride with the Bills. They're the healthier team going into this, and I think they get right.
And the Chiefs, quite frankly, I know they're coming off a loss at Lambeau, but they have a 3-game lead in their division. The Chiefs can still get in with 10 wins, and nobody will bat an eye if they end up in the championship game.
Bang, close out on this one.
Man, fuck this game.
Bang will forever hate the Chiefs. I mean, hate the Bills for losing that money.
In this game, in the playoffs,
Same place.
Same place, $10,000. Fuck them. I got the Chiefs because I don't think the Bills. Look, I'll say this: the one thing, if you've been watching national television, the argument that's been getting on my motherfucking nerves as I eat this grape. I'm talking about out of every argument that I've seen in the past year and a half, 2 years, is how the national media, or some people in the national media, white people, are mad that people are criticizing Josh Allen. This shit has been irritating as hell. And I believe that Josh Allen is going to give the people that have been criticizing him all of the reason to continue to criticize him.
I hope you're right.
Because this game means more to the Bills than it does to the Chiefs. And they still gonna wet the bed. So I got the Chiefs by 14.
All right. My number one must-watch game to watch of Week 14 is the big NFC East matchup at Jerry World, and that is between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. Man, this is a game that we talked about last week. We talked about how tight the NFC number one seed race is getting. Big opportunity here for the Eagles to pretty much put the Cowboys to bed and pretty much end any chance of them winning the division, which means that they would take them away from them being a top 4 seed, and that means they'd have to be in a wild card and start their playoff run on the road. Dallas here has an opportunity to pounce on the Eagles while they're down, and also to be able to make this something close, man. Like I told you, I've been big on the Cowboys the last couple weeks. Dakota Rain's been hooping. I know it's very hard to trust him, but I've been saying about the Eagles all year. They have not played a complete game to me, and I think that also with the 14-game win streak that the Cowboys have at home, I think this will be a very, very close game. But I'm going with the boys in this one. I think they're going to win by a field goal. This is going to be a very entertaining game. I'm going to go with Courtney first. Courtney, are you going to be at the game? I know you said that you would think about going.
I'm still thinking about going. These ticket prices, though, man, I could fly to freaking Lincoln Financial Field and watch the game there, especially where I like to sit, man. It's looking spooky out here. Might end up at my favorite bar instead, especially if I'm going to go by myself, No, I think this game is important, obviously, for number one NFC seed implications. But and we can get into the conversation about Dak, later. But I also think that this game is very, very, very important for the Cowboys. They cannot lose to the Eagles twice. They simply cannot. Whether it's for legacy implications, Dak MVP conversation, talks. I don't think that can happen. Now, do I think it will happen? I think so. Right. I think the Eagles are going to win by 3. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but I think Jake Ice in his veins, Elliott, is absolutely going to put the team on his back. I'm really hoping and praying that Brian Johnson and Nick Sirianni find some way to get the rest of that running game involved in the offense, and that Jalen Hurts doesn't have to risk life and limb in order to keep them in this game.
Let's do rapid fire as we have cousin Dan in the room. We're gonna bring on just like 2 minutes. So rapid fire, bang. Who you got in this one?
Man, I got the Eagles. I think it's the Eagles. They bounce back on this one.
All right, Mikey, what you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna ride with the Eagles. I think the Cowboys are up for the majority of the game, but I think Jalen Hurts and those wide receivers will be able to exploit that Cowboys secondary late in the fourth quarter.
All right, Dante, last pick, and then we're going to start the next segment.
I'm rocking with Officer Prescott. I got the Cowboys by 3.
All right, man. Let's get into our Friday segment, which everybody is becoming a quick hit on this show, man. It's called Cousin Dan. Cousin Dan Fridays. You see, there he is. He was not here last week because we didn't have a show last week because I was in Brooklyn, New York, getting drunk off my ass while knocking out this I'm Not Gonna Hold You holiday special. Cuzzo, how are you feeling on this fine Friday afternoon, evening?
What's up, guys?
What's going on, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling. I'm blessed. You feel me? I can't complain. How y'all doing, man?
He's got the eyes of somebody who's about to collect rent. What's going on, dog?
Not much, man. Not much. Y'all ready to get into it?
Let's get into it,
bro.
All right, man. This is my first topic, man. Bama's winning the Natty. Stop fucking crying, bro. I'm sick of hearing people cry about this shit. It's been going on. Like, listen, man. Florida State, my heart goes out to Jordan Travis. You know what I'm saying? Like, I totally understand, but don't nobody want to see y'all huff-ass quarterback or whatever y'all gonna trot out there, bro, and a fucking college football playoff, man. Read the fucking rules. It clearly says player availability in one of the bullet points. So, y'all can miss me with all the record shit that they win a Power 5 conference. Yes, but them motherfuckers barely could score on Louisville, bro. They would have got folded by whoever the fuck they would have had to play in that college playoff, bro. And besides that, I like when Nick Saban and Bama are like the fucking big bad villains in college football. It's good for college football.
Yeah,
they're gonna fucking clap Michigan, and then it's gonna be a fucking toss-up. I don't believe in any other team in that fucking college football playoff except Bama, if I'm being honest. So Washington. Fucking who's the last team?
Texas.
Yeah. Not scared of Texas. You're not beating Bama twice. I'm sorry. But I just want everybody to shut the fuck up, like, and stop crying about the shit, bro. Like, you know what the rules are. You see the rule. They're fucking plain and simple. Player availability. Why everybody on Facebook and Twitter like going in? I don't understand this shit, bro.
Well, we've got a fellow Roll Tide person. We got championship
Roll fucking Tide.
Roll damn Tide. Dan, actually, I think this is the first time you and I have ever agreed on something. How do you feel about that?
I'm all right. I don't know why ain't you from Dallas? Why you hate the Cowboys?
Fuck the Cowboys.
Aren't you from
Dallas? I live here.
Where you from?
Yes, I'm from everywhere, man. I lived everywhere growing up. Like, that's why all of my sports teams are literally all across the country.
So who's your football team?
The Saints.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm Mikey.
I heard that.
All right.
But I also do root for the Eagles. I have a Kelly Green, Randall Cunningham jersey.
Why?
In the Let's go Birds. What do you mean? Because I love the black quarterback. I have nothing but respect for the black quarterback, except for that one that's currently injured in Cleveland.
She said the full black quarterbacks. Let's get it.
But no. Bama's definitely gonna run the table, and that's why when you saw Michigan get into the playoff, you heard them those groans. That was the groan of somebody that was fully prepared to beat the shit out of freaking Florida State 59-7. And Florida State really wants to be mad at anybody, right? It's not Alabama you need to be mad at. It's not the selection committee you need to be mad at. It's fucking bum-ass TCU you need to be mad at for getting, pardon the expression, dog-walked in the playoffs by Georgia last year. Yeah. Sorry, the committee was not going to make that mistake again of allowing a mediocre team to get in when the option to put in an actual legit Alabama team was right there. Like you said, they're going to beat Michigan. Do I think it's going to be a blowout? No, I think they're going to win by maybe a touchdown, maybe 10 points, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. And then again, Bama's not losing to Texas twice. And I say Texas because Washington, they really still don't pass the eye test for me. They almost lost to my beloved Arizona State Sun Devils, which is pathetic. Well, it was homecoming. They had no business even putting up. They lost on a bad ref call. Okay. Arizona State was dog walking them in Washington on their homecoming game. So I don't want to hear it about Washington. They're not losing to Texas twice. Roll Tide.
I'll say this: they have made the Bama roll. They made the Tide look like sympathetic figures, which is something that's crazy. And then that's just pretty much how the story has changed. If there's anybody you want to blame here, blame Auburn. They're the reason that we're there in this position to fucking begin with.
And I get a roll.
Yeah, that's something you gotta blame with that. For me, I'll say this before Dan goes to his next topic. Everybody said was fair. Was fair. That's not fair. In the words of Felicia Snoop Pearson from season 4 of The Wire, fair ain't got nothing to do with it. Ain't got nothing to do with anything, man. So that's why I'm about that, man. So Dan, go to your next topic, man. This one I'm not really shocked that you put this on here, but what's your next topic?
Let me show y'all this. Y'all see that? Y'all see him? Y'all see that?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's the only light-skinned motherfucker that get love in this household, for real, for real.
Not his cousin who show he's on right
Not
now.
even you. I don't fuck with you like that. You know what it is. You know what it is. I don't even fuck with y'all like that. You and Joe. I be wanting to rob you motherfuckers sometimes. Y'all if I'm being honest.
This nigga's hilarious.
My next topic is we see the Warriors, man. And it's just proven Steph Curry is the most overrated superstar in NBA fucking history. And before y'all Stephanies come like breathing down my neck and like disagreeing, bro, you know, it's funny to me how like they try to put an asterisk on the Lakers bubble chip when I feel like every single fucking championship Steph Curry has won has a fucking asterisk on it. This motherfucker right now, you're seeing a result. Like they have what is it? Either the first or second highest payroll in the fucking NBA. And I be seeing his fans tweeting about how that motherfucker need help. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Make the motherfuckers better, bro. You supposed to be the guy. Y'all call this man the greatest scorer of all time, bro. That fucking dynasty would not have even been a thing if Kyrie or I'm not even saying both of them motherfuckers. Kyrie or Kevin Love was healthy in 2015, got clapped in 2016. Then these motherfuckers ran and got KD. Everybody in the West died, goddamn it, for that last championship he had. And Jason Tatum turned into fucking St. Lunatic Stromile Swift for that fucking championship that he got, bro. I don't buy none of the Kool-Aid. Y'all motherfuckers got this. That man, like what? 30 in the 30s or 40s all-time scoring. This shit don't add up for me, bro. He got one finals MVP. He is suffering because he don't have superstar talent around him no more. Who, bro? The nigga's overrated. I'm telling you. That's what it is.
So there's a couple things wrong with this. Number one, first of all, we know you don't like Steph. That's fine. You can not like Steph. When it comes to asterisks, you can literally put an asterisk by every championship in history of sports if you really want to go through every intricate detail. You can say there was no Kyrie Irving, there was no Kevin Love. You can also say that if Draymond would have kept his fucking foot to himself, they'd have beat them niggas 2 years in a row. So you can also, if we want to do the ifs, we can do that too. We can talk about superstars. Even though I've put my LeBron hate into the Raptors for a couple reasons that I will not say on this show. When it comes to that, I'm not going at LeBron when I'm saying this. You can also say, well, LeBron hasn't won a championship without superstar talent. You can do the same thing with all these type of arguments. I have no problem with you saying that he's not the greatest scorer of all time. I don't think he's the greatest scorer of all time either. I think he's the greatest shooter of all time. Score is crazy.
Make sure you say he's the greatest 3-point shooter of all time.
He might be greatest shooter, but it's a conversation either way.
He's not.
My thing is this: when it comes to overrated superstars, James Harden's right there. He's right there. James Harden is right there. We
don't rate Harden like that though. We don't.
A lot of niggas rate Harden.
No, they
a lot of niggas.
Not nobody that got sense. It's motherfuckers out here saying Steph Curry better than Magic Johnson, and he don't have half the resume.
And those people don't have sense either. There's same people who said that James Harden was better than Dwayne Wade. And we know that's cap. Like that has never been a point where he's better.
If he would stayed on that trajectory that he was on instead of, you know what I'm saying, hitting up Onyx and what's that shit called? The Pink Bunny in Houston. Don't tell me how I know this. But yeah, if he'd have stayed on that motherfucker trajectory, he could have been in that conversation with James Harden and shit. But nah, bro, don't nobody rate Harden like that. You know what I'm saying? And Stephen needs to be out here wild and throwing him in conversations he don't belong in. Like,
here's another one. I got another one. I think you'll agree with this one. There's another superstar that you could put in most overrated. Even though I am a fan of this guy. You can say Kawhi Leonard is the most overrated superstar in NBA history. You can throw him in there too.
He has 12. Like me and Pappy was just arguing about this. That motherfucker got like 12,800 points all time. What are we doing here, bro? Like, no, I don't even throw him in conversation. And then, your boy Pappy, shout out to Pappy at Pappy. Make sure he know I said this shit.
No, we're not shouting Pappy out on this thing. Fuck Pappy.
sorry.
I'm playing. I just like
I know.
No, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Pappy thinks Kawhi is better than Bron.
What right now, currently?
Yeah, currently, and 3-4 years ago, me and Mike had this conversation with Pappy like weekly, bro. He is not better than him currently, by the way. But he's showing the fuck ain't better than him like a few years ago either.
I'll say this, and because I know we can spend all day on this topic. I just want to ask you this quick question: will you ever get to a place where you'll at least respect what Steph has done and put away even the things that, because any stand group can say ridiculous shit? Do you think you'll ever be with that, or is it just smoke forever with this nigga?
Forever and ever. I'm not. I've said this numerous times, bro, and people think I'm playing. When fucking Bron retires, bro, I'm not gonna watch a bunch of centers shoot threes, bro. He had an impact on the game. Yes, I'm no fool, but he fucking made it way worse. It is a terrible product unless it's the playoffs, and even then, I'm halfway engaged. If I see another fucking fast break that ends with a center shooting a 3-point, bro, like I'm gonna fucking throw my TV, dog.
You know what's funny? I actually agree with you. I on that. I think Steph, as great as he is, he has ruined it because everybody think they can shoot like him, and you can't.
Everybody just want to shoot in general, and I like to see motherfuckers poke that bitch. I want, you know what I'm saying? I want to see motherfuckers dunk and shit. Like, they don't want to do that. They just want to shoot threes, bro. I'm straight. I'm gonna be a casual when Bronny gone. Just so y'all know.
I'm glad you're honest about that. Let's go to our next topic.
All right, because I heard y'all talking about that shit earlier anyway, so we can get into it. Not only is Dak the MVP, like I don't want to hear no more shit about that. He is now moved into the category of an elite quarterback. And I know everybody hates the fucking Cowboys here, but I don't know what else this guy has to do to show you that he's elite. Again, any of your teams would be lucky to have him as their quarterback, unless you have 30 teams. But besides that, you know, a little shade intended. I mean, what argument can you give me that not only is he the MVP, but he's also elite?
Well, Courtney, I'm gonna let you take this one because you know you said he wasn't elite last time.
How the fuck is he not?
I mean, I don't think that anyone who, first off, as far as MVP is concerned, let's start there. The conversation and the question is not, is Dak elite? The question is he the MVP?
Yes.
I don't think if you can't get your team to the number 1 seed in the NFC, you should be the MVP. And I say that not just Dak v. Hurts. I say that also, forgive me, Lord, including Brock Purdy in the conversation. I think whatever team ends up winning and excluding Tua from the conversation, because then I also unfortunately have to exclude Tyreek Hill from the conversation. Because if we're keeping it a buck, he should win the NFL MVP, Tyreek Hill.
No.
But if Jerry Rice didn't win NFL MVP, so sorry, Tyreek. Yeah. It's not happening for you.
You're changing the rules now. Y'all moving the goalposts with that.
No, I'm not.
Most valuable player.
Just with the race that we're having right now, the situation that we're in, because Brock Purdy's got numbers. I don't know if I'm necessarily sold on Jalen Hurts. Okay. I'm not sold on Jay. I think it's personally between Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy for MVP. And I think that the next 4 or 5 weeks are going to be what determines who wins the MVP.
I disagree. Y'all changing the goalposts. First of all, your team don't have to be number 1 in the NFC in order to win MVP. It's most valuable player, not best team and who has a good quarterback. Like, that's a team.
No, for sure. I don't disagree with you.
The fucking Niners have some bad losses. Like, that Cleveland loss was pretty fucking terrible. Purdy, like, and I hate to do this, but if Dak had Purdy's fucking offense outside of CD, if he had C-Mac, fucking Ayuk, like the support, all the motherfuckers are elite. If Dak had that, he would be going crazy, bro. Like,
I'll say this.
He still has better numbers than Purdy.
I'll say this. I actually agree with you on that because, and this is no Purdy hate. I went from calling Purdy the human embodiment of white privilege last season to actually respecting his game a little bit. But I do believe it's more of the system. Yeah, he's good. He still got to make throws. Not everybody's like,
decent.
Yeah, Micah was hating on his pod when he says I can throw that. No, you still about getting the wide receivers. You know,
He's nice.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback. My
Right.
thing is when it comes to MVP, I'm looking at you winning because of. And so I agree with Courtney too, where it's like, yeah, if we're doing lead candidates right now, and I'm not going to put Tyreek in there because they just don't give wide receivers that. It's a quarterback award. And whether how we feel about it now, it's a quarterback award. Yeah, Dak should be lead. Now, having said that, he has to finish this off in the right way. They have to beat Philadelphia and they have to get the number 1 seed. Then I think it's sold up.
Yeah, that's
You don't necessarily have to be.
Well, the way they're gonna draft, the way they pick it, they're gonna be looking at that the way they vote. Because if he's a 5th seed and they're starting on the road, you're not gonna give it to an MVP who's starting. That's just historically how they vote.
Gonna win the MVP because the fucking Niners stomped the shit out of both of them. So, but I don't think Brock Purdy, he's not having a better year than Dak.
No, he's not.
I can see where you're coming from, but I mean, let's talk about the elite shit.
Yeah,
he's elite. I don't want to hear shit else about it. Like, is Dak Prescott elite to y'all?
He's having an elite season. I'm gonna keep saying we're elite. It's about overall totality, and like you said, it's just like last year. Jalen Hurts had an elite season. I don't believe Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback. I still think there's only 2 elite quarterbacks in the NFL. It's Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow.
No, it's like 4 or 5.
Who you got for the other 2 or 3?
Josh Allen is elite.
He can be. He has elite moments.
He's on the steps.
And I did have to go look for posterity. When was the first week that Dak and the Cowboys beat a team that was over 500?
Oh, here we go, man.
What week did that start? I just want to make sure we get the numbers right because that's important here as well. If we're going to start being ticky-tacky about, the Niners had some bad losses.
They did.
The Cowboys play for a majority of the season. Not great
teams.
Yeah,
no, to Courtney's point, and I usually don't do this because I think that is a team thing, but for years, Dak has been a bum beater. Like, let's just be honest with the shit. Like, he plays very well against the NFC East. But then when it's time to play those other teams,
yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
These niggas, you know what I meant. But yeah, that's been my only thing with Dak because when you play these mediocre, these average and below teams, yeah, you go crazy. But when it's time for your team, we really need the shit to go our way. Dak hasn't come through in those moments. So, like, I agree. He's having an elite season and he's in the conversation, but I don't think he's MVP.
Thanks, guys.
Let's go to the next topic before we get too long-winded up here. What you got for the last one, Dan?
All right, my last one, man, is KD can't keep getting away with this shit, bro. Like, listen, man. Kevin Durant, this motherfucker, outside of the trades and the whole shit and joining the war, all that bullshit, he gets less scrutiny than fucking Donald Trump, bro. Like, it is fucking amazing. Like, he shot an air. I don't know if y'all watched that Lakers Suns.
Yeah, I saw that shit. I don't know what that shot was.
About the in-season tournament like that, I still think it's kind of a dumb idea because I just hate the fact that the Lakers got to play an extra game for the shit. Like,
you not jazzed up about that NBA Cup coming to the City of Angels?
If I wish Pop was our coach so he could sit all them motherfuckers and let the I swear to God, I wish Pop was our coach to do that, bro. But beyond that, man, LeBron literally took over that fucking fourth quarter, bro. He either scored or assisted on like 24 points or something crazy, right? And I keep hearing God's gift to scoring the basketball and KD this and he better than Bron when the real hoopers know and all this bullshit. The nigga shot an air ball to tie the game, right? After I think LeBron made the go-ahead bucket or whatever the fuck.
I didn't know it's Austin Reeves.
He came down, shot an air ball. Ain't nobody said shit. He just shook hands. All right, cool. Announcers ain't say shit. The motherfucker, no one cares when this motherfucker fails, G. Yet he still, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker say he the best player in the league, all this bullshit. Bro, I'm sick of this shit, dog. When are people gonna hold KD account? I bet y'all ain't even talk about that shit on this motherfucker.
No, we didn't.
I know y'all didn't. No one does. Because it's just cool. If Bron would have did that shit, y'all would have been on this motherfucking pod streaking naked the entire time talking about that shit. Fucking and shit, bro.
Because when LeBron did that shit early in the year, when he passed that shit to Cam Reddish, we ain't say shit. It is what it is.
A lot of
to keep it, but
everybody took it over for y'all.
You can take that shit to another show, but honestly, we ain't give a fuck.
Yeah, we didn't bring it up because, like I said, my Bron hate is in the
Y'all playing
rap.
politics. That's why. If I'd have seen y'all motherfuckers, if we was drunk, at the time,
Who we politicking with? Who,
I
who,
don't
No,
know.
he's
who
talking
we
about
playing
me.
politics?
He's
Y'all got
talking
some
about
fuck
me.
skies or some shit. Or I know CP3, that motherfucker been out the sky for about the last 8 years. So I don't know who said what to this man, but you know what I'm saying? I heard he under surveillance out there in LA, so he been coming home a lot more. You know
Hey man, he would have been talking about that shit. He would have been
saying?
talking about that shit by himself because I don't give a fuck. Like
I'm gonna let
it's
Dante.
fucking early in the year. I know we in the goddamn.
People care.
I know we in the Wait a minute, hold on. I know we in the goddamn, NBA in season tournament and shit. But I still don't give a fuck about the NBA season until a couple of weeks from now, till Christmas. Right? Talk to me now.
You gonna tell
That
me people weren't
he throw that
scrutinizing when Bron missed that when Bron passed that ball to Cam Reddish.
if Kevin Durant do the air ball shit in March, April, he getting cooked.
He's done it.
And he got cooked.
Watch this man get swept by the Celtics.
I'm saying
shit. They just blamed it on.
All I'm saying is that debates about the NBA in November, December gets no play over here.
Okay.
Let that shit happen later in the season. Then we good. All this shit that niggas be talking about with the NBA right now is to fill up a TV screen for a producer to fill up some shit so we have some goddamn segments.
That's not the case.
Hold on. Let's bring this back. I'm gonna give it to Dante, then we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah, no, I don't care about the air ball, but to your point, KD does get away with murder. Like these last few years, especially because my whole thing was, okay, whatever happened in Golden State, that happened. But when you took control and said, I'm gonna go to Brooklyn, I'm gonna put my team together, and I'm gonna, be the guy. Because for years he had that "I'm tired of being number 2" campaign. Like we heard the talk, all of that shit. He's gonna take over.
Nobody really gives a fuck about Kevin Durant.
He's the Meg Griffin. He's the Meg Griffin of the
yeah.
Don't nobody give a fuck about Kevin Durant at the end of the day. It's fake love with Kevin Durant.
Let's be real. A lot of motherfuckers love that nigga.
No, I'm telling you, niggas love. Wait a minute, I'm telling you. Hold on, I'm telling you this. Niggas love Kevin Durant because they hate LeBron James. The shit is fake love. Niggas don't really give a fuck about. Niggas don't give a fuck about Kevin Durant at the end of the day. Don't nobody give a fuck about them long ass shoes. Don't nobody give a fuck about his haircut. Don't give a fuck about the slip. The nigga got the worst goddamn nicknames in NBA history and shit. The motherfucker, nobody, like, he is a lame. Like, in the memory, in one of the best moments of even before this show happened history, that nigga is buddy ass, and he's been buddy ass. We just give him love because he's just there. We hate LeBron. Right. Don't nobody give a fuck about Kevin Durant at the end of the day. And he know that shit too. That's why he be on Twitter talking shit and all that with the burner. Because he know at the end of the day, that nigga, LeBron James, put it in a wrestling term, LeBron James is Hulk Hogan. Kevin Durant is Brutus the Barber Beefcake, nigga. We know you there. We know you there. We like you when you with Hogan and shit and that thing. But other than that, we don't give a fuck about your ass, nigga. Don't put somebody in a sleepover and call it a day. No, he's not even. He's not Macho Man, my nigga. Steph Curry, Macho Man. That nigga is Brutus the Barber. He ain't even Jake the Snake Roberts, my nigga. He's not even Jake the Snake Roberts. Like the nigga's just there. He's just a hooper. So since your ass just a hooper, we gonna treat your ass like a hooper. The niggas that love Kevin Durant is niggas who hate LeBron James. That's it. Like, that's why we don't talk about and shit on Kevin Durant like we should, because niggas fake like him at the end of the day. And that's probably worse than cooking his ass when he throw an air ball. Because he know motherfuckers don't give a fuck about him. Nigga don't even get, like, Kevin Durant looked like he got like all his relationships transactional.
All right, man. Let's.
When you see Kevin Durant with hoes.
Hey, I don't want to get into that, man. I don't want to get into that.
No, what I'm saying, no. What I'm saying is that he's a superstar. He's a superstar that don't have no superstar quality around this nigga. LeBron James got Savannah. Steph Curry got his wife and he got the kids and shit too. James Harden go to the strip clubs and shit all the
You saying
motherfucking
KD
time.
got Twitter and
That's what
video
I'm saying.
games?
He like the nigga don't have the aura around him other than I'll have some shoes and I'm about to go hoop. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the reason why niggas don't cook him because what are you gonna cook? Like he has nothing. And
So
it's
now
no
I
diss to
can't.
him. It's just like
So
That
now
sounds so depressing.
can't criticize him on the court because he a lame. That's not how it works.
That's hilarious.
Steph Curry a lame shit. I
Steph
mean,
is, yeah.
but
that
he has yes, he's a lame, but he has other shit around him that make the press.
his wife a lame. Like what is he
KD
talking
don't
about?
have that.
The
KD
whole
don't have that.
We're going to cut this off because I want to do business with the Currys and the Durants in one day.
all right.
So
Let me wrap
for
up.
the brand, Dan, check us out, man. Let them know where they can follow you and everything like that.
Hold on, I just got one more thing to say before I check out. You can follow me at Dan_Glorious on Twitter. That's all I got, man. I want to leave America with this. Okay. Growing up, I seen a few movies. One movie made me think I was going to die in the hood. Another movie made me think that if I went to college, I was gonna have to be on a track scholarship, and my girl was gonna get killed by a white supremacist.
What the fuck is this movie?
Higher learning, nigga?
Don't worry about it. Let me finish. Okay. I want to say this before I cut out. John Singleton is burning in hell. He has written nothing positive about the black community, and I don't give a fuck what y'all got to say about it. I Greatest Hill, I admit that, but if you look at his filmography, that shit ain't filled with nothing but trauma. I love y'all. I figured my week get started.
The thoughts and views. The thoughts and views expressed by Cousin
of the
Dan.
Barbershop Network and our great partners at H&B Media. All right, cuz we'll holler at you next week.
Bye, y'all, man. Be safe.
All right, G.
Be easy, bro.
We're going to wrap up this free edition of the show as we get ready for overtime. And Courtney will be actually joining us on overtime for the first 10-15 minutes of that. We're going to get into some hot stove talk. I want to talk about my Goofy Mog of the week. My Goofy Mog of the week is Chicago Bears fans. What can I say about Bears fans? It's kind of difficult because I fuck with Bears fans because they fuck with my podcast, 79th and Hollis. And if it wasn't for 79th and Hollis, I wouldn't be doing the other things that I'm doing. So I appreciate them for that. But at the same time, this is the most uneducated, dumbest, and just straight up blasphemous fan base, maybe in sports. And I understand that all fans are like this to an extent. But I see we have fan Olympics going on in NFL and Bears Twitter lately talking about, well, you're not a real fan if you're rooting for, the Bears to get the lower draft pick. You're just a Justin Fields fan and you should be doing this, that, and the third. Who the fuck are you to be ranking fans? Like, number one, like that's this fan base. There's a lot of people in this fan base who want to be insiders and media members while shitting on the media members. Well, what kind of game is that? You can't hate from outside the club, dog. Like, which one is it? You want us to do better coverage, or you want to be part? Which one is it? Is it Uchiwali or is it one Mike? Y'all need to decide. And this is very rich coming from a fan base who sold things to talk about the goddamn draft, to talk about how many draft picks were given up. Oh, I don't want to give that up for this player who's great. I don't even know what's the salary cap looking like. The one who's obsessed with the fucking backup quarterback. I've never seen a fan base be obsessed with the backup quarterback like the Bears. If Jake Browning was on the Bears and he went up out there and did that shit he did last week on Monday Night Football and we had Joe Burrow, they be want to get Joe Burrow up out of here. Well, he's injury prone. They gave him that money. I don't know if he can last long. Jake Browning is good. That's the kind of shit that only happens in this market. And so I'll close by saying this: why you're my Goofy Mog of the week is because you just need to learn the game of football better. I really believe a lot of Bears fans only watch the Bears, which is crazy to me considering they play some of the worst football ever. Like, there's people who, I was in New York last week and I was getting crazy looks, people who like actually thought that I wanted to watch the Bears. And these come from niggas who watch the Jets and the Giants like on purpose. And they looking at me like I got a problem. And that's the issue. I want Bears fans to be better, to accept better from this franchise, man. And it's just like, Give me a fucking break. Talking about the draft in week 4 is loser shit. And yeah, oh, you're a Justin Fields fan. How you don't want the team to get better? Maybe I want Justin Fields to stay because that makes the team better. Did you ever think about that? So I'm just sick and tired of all the dumb shit that's going on in Bears Twitter with Bears fans. I understand a lot of this isn't even the Bears' fault. I mean, Bears fans' fault. It's the Bears for not putting a quality product on the field. Maybe if they did that, we wouldn't have some of the dumbass conversations that we have in this fan base, man. So that's what I'm going to say. Bears fans, I love you, but I also don't at the same time. You're my Goofy Mog of the week. So we're going to close out, man, a little longer today because we had 2 guests. We will be back on Monday. For our, I don't know, is that our last full week before the break? I'm looking at the calendar right now. Yeah, next week will be our last full week before we go on break. December 18th will be our last show of the year. And the I'm not gonna hold you holiday special. We'll be dropping in a couple weeks. You'll have the exact date for that very soon. So look out for that. We're going to head over to Patreon. You can go over here right now, patreon.com/Barbers Chair Network. We're going to do overtime. Then we're going to be talking about some hot stove news. We'll talk about everything going on with Shohei Ohtani. And we're also going to preview Bears Lions. So subscribe to that at patreon.com/Barbers Chair Network. Man, I am your host. You know to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Barberchair Scott. You know to follow the Barbers Chair Network at Barbers Chair Net on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow our great producer and co-host Dante at Octoberzone on Twitter. Follow Courtney at 1-800-CALLA-BRO. Follow JR Bang at JR Bang on all social media. And of course, follow Mikey at Junior_Solito, man. So if you're not a Patreon subscriber, we'll holler at y'all on Monday. And if you are, we're about to record that. You will check that up on the Patreon later tonight. We up out of here.
That paper on display, I haters old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna